Hi and welcome to KSI Print. This is the place to be for the best tips and tricks in embroidery, vinyl, heat transfer, and screen printing. Let's get started.
Hi and welcome. Today we're going to learn how to put a cartridge into the Summa DC5. So we have our cartridge already preloaded with our ribbon, and I'm going to show you how I get them into the DC5 in the proper way. First of all, I'm in a very confined space, and so my DC5 is not able to be set away from the wall far enough for me to get into it, so I actually have to move it out. So if you'll walk with me, it's on wheels, so it is easy to move. So I slide it out, and actually I can do it with one hand, it's not that hard. And if you can take a look behind the machine, I'm going to set my cartridge up here. You actually have two levers. Take these two levers and you pull them down. And then this is all your cartridge slots. Each slot holds a different color cartridge. In this particular machine, I already have several loaded in here, as you'll see. And we're going to take this one and I'm going to load it in. Now, with the cartridges, you do need to make sure that your chip is facing the front of the machine, and the front going this way, so always make sure it's facing the front. The other thing you want to do is you want to make sure that there's not too much slack on the ribbon itself so that it doesn't fold over or get caught on these areas down in here when you put the cartridge in. So I'm going to turn this wheel just a little bit, make sure that they're completely tight, putting it facing the front. And you just simply take it, and you're wanting to clear these two little slots here. Slide it right in. It fits in very simply. Now, when you put it in, it's going to tend to move and go towards the front. From that point, you always want to make sure that you bring it back to the back of the machine. It needs to touch these spots, or else the machine will not be able to read it. So every time you put a cartridge in, always push it in and then pull it back. So before I get ready to start my job, the thing that I would want to do, especially after opening this and moving the machine, it could have moved some of the cartridges out of place. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply take each one of my cartridges and pull them back, just snug each one, checking it to make sure that they are intact. Then from that point, all you do is take the door, close it back up, and then it's in there. So from there, I move my machine back and I'm ready. Now, the other thing that's going to happen too, the machine is actually detecting the cartridges now. This machine is on, so it's going through and it's reading each one of the cartridges. The carriage will actually go in, it'll pick up the cartridge and make sure that each cartridge is there that you're going to use. The front of the DC5, if you look at the very front window here, it'll tell you which cartridges are in there. So if you can see here, you'll see the black, the magenta, the cyan, and so forth. This tells me what cartridges are in this machine. The other thing is, if you can see on this, you'll see that there's little dotted lines above the black and then above my blue. What that's telling me is, it is telling me that I don't have complete cartridges. They're not 100% full. So that's something you always want to watch out for as well before you run a complete job, is always check your how full your cartridges are. Okay? So now I'm going to show you another tip that I do, and this is something that is probably a little bit out of character for most people, but I'm going to go into the front of the machine. When I'm in a hurry and I've got something that is jammed on the machine and I really need to get to it quickly, I will turn off my machine first. I simply turn off the power just to make sure that I'm being safe and that this cartridge doesn't come towards on me and cause me any issues. But to pull the front open of the machine, when I do this, you can see your cartridges. So if I've had an issue with my cartridge being seen while ago or detected from the carriage, what I would do is I would simply go in and I can actually take this cartridge and I can push it back with my hands in here. So it doesn't have to be always in the back. You can actually take it, if you're really careful, you can actually pull it in and out of the front. although probably not the best way to do it, but it can be done. So we're going to put the cartridge back, and it just simply slides in, and that's all there is to it. So thank you for coming, and if you'll stay tuned, we have another video coming up that is going to be troubleshooting issues with a ribbing that is creasing. Thank you again.